All right, guys, it's been a while since we caught up with the ducks and the gooses. Hey, gooses! Goose! Goose! And as you can see, everybody's very excited and a lot closer than usual. And there's a reason. That's right. It's time for breakfast sprouts. I'm gonna do this one-handed so I can video it. And what you'll hear as everybody runs in, very loud ducks. I am using my earpiece, so you don't hear them as loud as they are, but all of a sudden it's going to get quiet. Once every beak is being stuffed. Oh, you guys missed it. That little white duck just goosed the heck out of that big white gander goose back there. That was hilarious. I wish I would have got that for you. But it's sprouted seeds, and what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you guys my setup for sprouting these seeds. I've been asked a lot about how I changed over from barley to doing these. And first and foremost, what I want to show you guys is they're not fodder, it's just sprouts. Right? We're growing out rootlets. We're converting some of the material inside from carbohydrate into, well, actually from fat into carbohydrate here. We're going into green. So instead of being a seed, we're feeding more of a green here. And as everybody knows, sprouts are superfoods. And as you can see, I've been throwing a lot of it. They're eating like crazy. And I still got an awful lot in there. In the interest of time, let's create a chum line here. And you can see how quiet the beaks get as soon as the beaks all have something to put in them. You guys are late, you better get to breakfast. So let's do this. Let's get over here. There's something interesting. This is areas that were pretty damaged. Disturbed soil. We came in with mulch and some seed. You can see that coming up. Hopefully they won't graze too much of it. It doesn't even matter if they do. There's plenty of natural growth down there, and now that that's covered with mulch and it gets good irrigation and cooler weather, that'll all come in beautiful. And what we're doing here, we're extending the edge. So we have a swale line, so we're going to come in this winter and plant more trees extending this edge. So this is an edge extension, and we'll continue it on through here. But I don't want the pools overflowing while I'm showing you the sprouting system. So what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and throw the hose in the next pool, but we'll go over here and shut the water off. Let me go back and get my bucket now. And I'll come back and catch up with this after I show you guys the sprouting system. So the sprouting system was developed. I saw a lot of people doing barley fodder, and they were spending a lot of money to do it. And it was winter time, and people do barley in winter because it, what's up, Goose? What's up, Charlie? They do barley in winter because it germinates in cold temperatures. And in warmer temperatures, it tends to get moldy and stagnate. And it takes, 5 to 7 days to really grow it out. And it doesn't make that much of a sprout. It's a very small sprout. Well, one thing I can get very inexpensively is black oil sunflower. They're sold everywhere. I mean, everywhere from Walmart to Tractor Supply, etc. I get mine from Tractor Supply. They're the same ones you guys buy to put in your bird feeders. And I'll show you how this system works. And it's very, very simple. It's built on these buckets. These buckets have holes drilled in the bottom. A lot of times when I show us how many holes, how big, I don't know. Enough holes so they drain fast and big enough that the water drains quickly, but the seeds don't fall through. So, get your drill, get your bits, and go to work with it and figure out what works for you. So, this morning, this bucket was sitting right here. So right now I'm only on a 2-day cycle because it's so warm out there. They're growing fast, and that's part of what I like about them. So you saw what I just fed. These guys here are 1 day into the sprouting cycle. So they'll get a little bit bigger, and they'll get fed tomorrow. Move those down lower. And our new stuff will come in up top. And all we're going to do for that is we soak them in a bucket overnight. So those 2.5 scoops, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. We'll dump this in here. Watch out, Charles. We dump those in there. And there'll, of course, be some stuck-on ones. So now I got one hand. I got to try not to get sprayed by my hose. Yep, there it goes. So I'll come in here with my hose, and I'll just rinse, because I don't want those left behind. That's a recipe for mold. This is a little hard to do one-handed. And then this goes in here, like that. So that cleaned out the bucket. And then this will just sit here and drain onto the ground. And while that's draining, I'll take this bucket in here and I'll get my seeds for the next cycle. I do this every morning. It's really, really simple. With the number of ducks I'm feeding, you might have to adjust. Most of you don't have as many as I do. I use a scoop like this. They sell my Tractor Supply. I do 2 full scoops. And it may have picked a bad day. I might have to open another bag, and I definitely can't do that on camera. So I can make it work. 2 full scoops. And then, I don't really know if it's a half a scoop. It's just what I settled on. It seems to be about the right amount to feed everybody. You can see the bottom there. So I fill the bottom up to where it opens up to wider. So I'll call it 2.5 scoops. Come back in here. And again, this hose kicks on with a lot of power, and then it drops down. So I'm going to try to go slow so I don't get sprayed here. I can do this. All right. We'll fill that up. And I like to get some pressure on that. Really move those seeds around. Some kind of a good rinsing with it too, I guess. And then shut that off. That just sits there till tomorrow. And nice thing is it ends up being a rat trap sometimes. Rats will come and jump in there to eat the seeds, and then they fall through. It's like quicksand. They can't get out and they drown. That's why the dog was so interested. So then this guy goes up here. All right, so that bucket, we center that bucket. We put that bucket under that bucket. We have just cheap leader hoses, like the ones we buy at Home Depot and Lowe's. And there's a splitter down there, because at one time I was running 2 sides. Right now, this is all I need. And come back here, and I got a valve tied into that hose system. Turn the water on. And that's just a cheap, like $3 sprinkler there at the top. It spreads a nice spray into that bucket. You can see it filters down to the next bucket. And that gives them a good rinse and a good soaking. The ones that were there for the night before. Shut that off, water runs through. And as it gets cooler, it takes longer to sprout them. So I have more buckets, and I just add buckets as I need to add buckets. And I have, if I had to go to a 5-day system, they can go 4 here. I can just bring another bucket up here and keep keeping them wet. And it's that simple. And once I want that side open, all I got to do is open that little Y valve down there. These are just tie wrapped in place. And again, these are like $3 plastic sprinklers you can get anywhere. I picked them because they're round and they fit the round top of the bucket. A lot of you have asked about when I used to use these things, these concrete mixing trays. They suck. You got all this huge surface area right here, and you get way too much evaporation. When you get inside a bucket, you only got that very top layer there, and you get a very deep layer. So if you were doing fodder and you were trying to grow them up to a green, these would work. You'd have to do something to control the evaporation, give them more water throughout the day, put them on a timer or something like that, and lower pressure. But for sprouts, this is all you need. So that's what the girls eat every day. And it's why we believe our eggs are so damn good, because they're eating this superfood every single day. It's that easy to make it. And you saw I didn't use that much, and it makes an awful lot of food for them, and they love it, as you can see. So anyway, we'll catch up with you later. This has been Jack Spirko with another episode of Duck Chronicles. Remember, if you like this sort of thing, check out my podcast. My podcast is called The Survival Podcast, and you can find it by going to tspc.co. We might as well finish up and say hi to the turkeys. They're probably mad at me. They usually get some sprouts, and because of what I was doing, they didn't get any sprouts today. But you guys get plenty. You guys will get some duckweed later. And hey, say hello to the cat. This is Fox Mulder. His sister Scully is around here somewhere. They're doing a good job. Fox got himself a kill the other day on a couple rats. I saw one scurry right through here. I told him he wasn't doing his job, and about 15 minutes later, I looked out back, It was almost like he knew what I was talking about, and I saw a rat being tossed back and forth that was already dead. And then poor fox, he did all that work to kill a rat. The turkey stole it from him and ate it. Yes, turkeys eat rats. That's the way it works, folks. Anyway, yeah, check out tspc.co to get to the Survival Podcast, and I hope you enjoyed this video.